Chief Foreign Editor Rob Parsons. Rob, the Syrian army are pressing ahead with this attack.
Yeah, if you remember, about a year ago, the Syrian government said it was going to launch an all-out assault against Idlib province, the last rebel-held province in Syria. But it didn't do so, and the reason it didn't do so was that the following month, September, in Sochi in Russia, Russia and Turkey agreed on establishing areas inside Idlib which would be free of jihadist fighters and free of heavy weaponry, a buffer zone which Turkey would take responsibility for. That is what has been holding the peace in Idlib up until pretty much the last couple of months. But since January this year, jihadists, and particularly in the form of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which has consolidated itself in the province, have been pushing the boundaries. They haven't withdrawn from the buffer zone. They haven't withdrawn their heavy weaponry. And Syria, backed by Russia, I remember President Putin was in France just a couple of days ago for talks with President Macron. Asked by Macron whether he would stop the assault against Idlib, he said no, he would not stop it until the terrorists were accounted for. So clearly, the Russians and the Syrians are on the same page. Syria, encouraged by the Russian position, pushing to take this town of Khan Sheikhoun, critical, as you pointed out on your introduction, because of where it is on that road, the M5 between Aleppo and Damascus. It looks now as though the jihadists, the rebels of Hayat al-Tahrir, have lost it. That for them is a critical blow. It's a blow for morale, it's a blow for prestige. What it also suggests too is that the thousands, hundreds of thousands, I should say, of refugees in Idlib are seriously at risk. And that is something the Turks are very concerned about. They have over 3 million refugees from Syria already inside Turkey. If there really is a major offensive, somewhere in the region of another 800,000 more could be pressing against the Turkish border to get in. The Turks don't want that.
And complicating matters, Rob, a Turkish military column in Idlib coming under attack by Syrian warplanes.
Yeah, and this is pretty much about that. You know, the Turks do not want a wave of refugees, a fresh flood of refugees to come into the country. So they're trying to move into Idlib in greater presence. This is an armoured column, substantial armoured column that was attacked by apparently Syrian airplanes, to try and prevent the Syrians from pressing forward with their attack. The Syrians are saying that the aim of the Turks was not simply to back up their observation posts, which there are 12 in Idlib, but to supply weapons to the jihadists in Khan Sheikhoun. Turks are denying that. But this does illustrate the problems that Turkey faces in Syria. They've been appealing to President Putin of Russia to hold the Syrians back from this attack, but they gave notification to that column was moving into Idlib province. It didn't stop the Syrians from attacking it, which clearly suggests that President Putin is going to continue backing the Syrians despite the Turkish objections, which does raise the important question: how important, how solid is the alliance that has been growing between the Turks and the Russians?
Thank you very much for your analysis, Rob.